A Show,
where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Good evening, beautiful, sexy, and smart people. Welcome to the A Show, where we will be having BRV, Billy Ray Valentine, join us shortly. But until then, hello. Welcome. It's nice to be able to see you guys. So I see Big Wig and Lon and Michael. Who else is here? Alex. And thank you for being here. And I'm excited to have Ms. Eva D across from me.
Hello, thank you.
You've been having a hell of a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit just piles up.
I feel like we both have. It's like been one of those weeks. I just literally found out 3 minutes ago that apparently my Instagram page was so offensive they want to delete my entire account. It says my account may not follow community standards and I can appeal. But if they find that my account does not follow the community standards, it'll be permanently disabled and I won't be able to appeal again. But they're not telling me what the problem is. So there's nothing there. So shouldn't they have to tell you what the deal was? Like, what's so offensive?
Yeah, I mean, they better tell you. I mean, okay, so the first thing I pulled up and I was looking for your account when you said that was basically an anonymous search has came up with men's and dicks and shit. So
what?
If that isn't offensive, in other words, why did they do that to your account?
Yeah, what could they possibly find that, like, what? There's no hate stuff or death threats, or there's none of that. Like, what is it that's so bad that they would feel the need to terminate my entire account? I don't understand this one at all. So I am totally confused. Now, every once in a while, I share other people's stories and I make comments on the stories as I'm sharing them. That's, I think, the main activity I've had lately because I haven't really posted much. So I'll share other people's stories and then put like a comment or two. That's about it.
Yeah, I actually, I was looking at some of your stories today that you had posted up there. So that was earlier. Your account was working earlier.
But they're not my stories. They're other people's stories. Like, I didn't post them. I'm just sharing them. So is my account suspended because I shared someone else's story? Like, what is going on? I'm so confused right now. So, you know what? This is the thing. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay. So it would suck. It would suck because I've had Instagram for years and I'm verified and the whole thing. But in truth, I spend too much time on Instagram, so it'll give me my life back. So
there's a lot of good shit to see on there.
I know. Yeah, well, that's how I promote my stuff, right? But I promote Patreon on there, my Patreon page. Cheap plug, April Hunter. But yeah, that's the primary way I'm able to promote it. So, but I don't promote anything that's like, I see some flat out nudity on Instagram sometimes. I don't do any of that.
As soon as I tried to pull up your name, that's what I got. And so wow, they have no reason to delete yours. So anyway, totally make sure you tell everybody how this goes. You'll have to put it out there.
I know. So. I am so fucking annoyed right now. But oh well. I see Winona, War Demon, Big Wig. I see Anna. Hello. I have questions for you, Anna, too. I wanted to find out what happened with your pool because my film is back again. So yeah. Who else is here? Fury. Boobs, right? Boobs. Cool, awesome dude. Thanks to you guys for coming in tonight and keeping us company. We are expecting Billy Ray Valentine to join us shortly. But we thought we would cover a few things in the beginning. And by the way, if you hear the chirping, you know the deal.
Yep. Drink. Yep. Don't forget, throw those bits for your slutty shirt day.
Yeah, I couldn't. This was as slutty as I could find tonight, but I thought, we're getting there. We're getting there.
There you go. Don't forget, everybody sign in. Make sure you log in, so at least we have an idea what's going on. So
yeah, if you're looking in the back, say hi, please, and share the show. Say hi, share the show. It helps us.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a lot of wild news this week, but one of the things we're actually going to cover when BRP gets here is a really, you know how I've been wanting to do that metaphysical story for a while. About the kind of the combination of people's knee-jerk reaction to the word Jesus, and possibly did we maybe get the concept of Jesus wrong? Maybe it's a Christ consciousness. So this is one of the things we're going to ponder upon when he gets here. And there's a video that maybe I can play for you because it's originally on Instagram. So
I might be able to figure it out today. So I have it up.
That's a problem. Most of the videos we play for you are on Instagram, so that would be a bummer. I can't play it, but it's one of those things that kind of makes you think, along with how reactive this can make people too. So hearing like all sides of this is interesting. I
was just reading that. Yeah.
Oh, Steve, thoughts on TikTok trend stating that gingers are actually Black people. Oh my God. I think that's hilarious.
Oh, did you post that video up on your storyline?
I may have.
Okay.
I saw some hilarious responses to it. Like one guy, especially on X. X was funny. People just went for it. One guy's like, okay, you can't say ginger anymore. Only we can say that. And hi, Red Sunny, what's up? I don't really have any thoughts. I get it. I get what I understand what the woman was saying originally. She was saying that globally, gingers have been persecuted and treated like shit and singled out and stuff like that. But in retrospect, I feel like the reason gingers are the way they are, the reason they're crazy and outspoken and leaders and wild and can handle a lot of what's going on, I think is because they've been bullied and singled out and teased and ostracized and picked on. And the more you do that to somebody, the stronger they get. They kind of develop a very thick skin. So, I personally
feel
like... Are you
saying that you were bullied because of your hair?
Well, they have a national Kick a Ginger Day.
What?
They do.
Okay, everybody. Doesn't April's hair look great? Doesn't your hair look great?
They changed it to Kiss a Ginger. So
it better be that Kick a Ginger. Fucking A.
Yeah, thanks.
I
It's
guess.
a weird one, but I understand it. But all I know is I know some interesting weird facts that I can tell you that would be a soft question, not a hard question, but a soft question, that it could be that gingers are like their own thing because genetically, allegedly, all of us stem back to one mutation, one literal like birth effect, and that would be the Northmen, the Vikings, and it would be Eric the Red. So that motherfucker raped so much. He was so rapey. Like he raped here and raped that, raped. He raped his way around the world. He was all over Ireland, UK.
He dropped his mutation everywhere.
Yeah, all over all the Germanic areas, Iceland. He was so rapey that he spread that redhead gene, that MCR1 gene everywhere. So technically, I think we're all basically related. So there's a couple gene alterations that create the red gene. And like for guys, if you guys have a red beard, that means you only have one gene. So you'll get part of it. If you have red hair, you have both of them, both recessive genes coming in. So my grandfather had it. Both my niece and my nephew on two different sides are both gingers too. So it's like we're a cult.
Well, you did a lot of research on that.
Yeah. So like we have a very high pain tolerance, but a low threshold for being uncomfortable when it comes to like temperature. So people who are like strawberry blonde tend to have a blonde streak up the back of their head. Obviously, there's freckles. There's the freckle thing. So yeah, there's a lot of commonalities and weird. We do tend to be left-handed. So the overwhelming
majority. Down on that one.
Yeah. No, I was redheaded.
I know. I'm kidding.
But I come from the era where they switch you to right-handed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
yes,
but it's weird. Big Wig says women with red hair were conceived during a woman's menstrual cycle. You don't say. It's wild.
I didn't even want to put that on. I didn't know what you'd say on that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
right.
a weird one, but if it's on TikTok, it must be true, you know.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, your hair looks great. So don't change it.
Thanks. I didn't know what we were getting into this week, but it was pretty funny. Yeah, but
right,
I guess you guys are responding to. We're going to talk about, like I said, if you know, and like I said, we'll have different opinions on this, and hopefully you guys will join in and give us your opinion too. What the how do I put this? I'm afraid I'm tiptoeing here, and I shouldn't be. I'm just going to say,
yeah, you are.
I know because it's such a touchy subject. And I'm just going to speak freely because I don't want to offend anybody. But we're going to explore the concept of Jesus and the actuality of Jesus, and if it's a Christ consciousness, and if it was used by the church to mean translated to mean something other than what it was, and why this tends to trigger some people. So we're going to explore all of that when BRV gets here. So
before, can I respond to a comment?
Yes, please do.
I've always wondered, how do left-handed people hang toilet paper on the wall so they can get to it? They don't. I'm telling you, they do not, because I'm a lefty. Here's my left hand with my pen right in it. No.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah,
I don't leave it on the wall. I lay it somewhere. I move it to the right side because it just doesn't work.
Okay.
I flip rolls around. I move things, whatever I got to do. But no, it does not.
In other words, you do it wrong.
I do it right.
You do it wrong.
My right.
You do it wrong.
You're wrong. My right. So anyway, sorry, I had to respond to that. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry.
She gets one of those toilet paper holders, sits it right in front of her, and then slides it whatever side she needs when she does her wee.
There is that, yes. And somebody I know has one that's movable, and it gets moved.
That's right. That's right. I thought of you when you stay with me. So I'm considerate like that.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
It's been a crazy week. Like, I re-injured my neck. This whole last 10 days, I re-injured my neck. I fell. Okay. Not like old people fall and break my hip. Okay. I'm not there yet. But I drove all night to get back from North Carolina, went to bed, left my bag on the floor, woke up in the middle of the night to go pee, forgot where I was. I thought I was still in North Carolina, tripped over my bag and fell into the TV.
What size is your bag? Fucking huge. Sorry.
The size of my kitchen table, okay? It is, hey, pack heavy, work light.
All right, yeah.
So,
that's good.
Yeah, it is massive. Okay, it's a massive. I will admit that. So yeah, I went sprawling. Didn't think anything of it. You know, peed, went back to bed. The next day, there's like a shooting pain going down here. My arm is numb. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Then the day after that, my thumb blew up and the pain in it. And I was like, oh my God, this feels like the staph infection. Because I had a staph infection like a year and a half, 2 years ago after surgery. And I was like, this thing's hot and throbbing and like totally not in a sexy way. And I'm soaking it in Epsom salt and nothing's happening. And turns out it was a staph infection. And fun fact,
Fun fact, you froze up. Uh-oh. I'll answer that, Red Sunny, while she's getting that together. Yes, she saw a doctor. Yes, she got stuff for it. Her thumb is getting better. Her neck is getting better. And she's still not there. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I will answer another question here. Let's see. Okay. Well, in that case, there was a bunch of things that we were going to go over before BRV came on while she's resetting and doing her thing. And let's see. There's been a lot of things that come out. I don't know if you guys know some of these small things that COVID-19 updates and clots. And oops, yep, she got bounced out. There we go. Yep, she did go quiet. Yes, Allie. She was having I think froze, and she went out, and hopefully she'll be back in. So anyway, just real quick on a couple things. We have a new pope. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but since we're going to roll in with BRV, just consider that in the back of your brain. How you feel about what's going on, because it's been interesting. And let's see, she was talking about her pool. So they are saying it's supposedly that it's just her, but she believes it is possibly from the planes, chemtrails, mosquito spraying, and as she is, yes, DC, she is working her way back. So anyway, she'll give you follow-ups on that as we figure out things. Anybody that has any ideas with that, with the oils in the pool, would be great, especially if you're not in Tampa Bay area. Let's see, what else? Alberta in Canada, I'm just going to throw this out there because we have some Canadians on here, that they're following through with their succession. They're not happy with the prime minister pick, and they're looking to be on their own. So we'll follow up on that. Next week, we're going to talk about the fluoride in the water and what Florida is doing, because we're going to have Ty Whitman back on, and he is going to bring somebody on that was a part of this whole when fluoride started, and what is being done about to get it out of our water system nationally, hopefully, and being that Florida is one of the states that's leading the way with that. And I like some of the comments about the Pope. I'm just going to hold on to them until we get going. Let's see. That was a real quick one there. And the Healthy People Agenda of 2030, if you've been keeping an eye on what's up. There is a lot of things coming down the pipeline in reference to our new government entities. Oh, she says she can't get back on. No, I am here and chatting. Okay. Well, hopefully she can figure out and get back on here in a few minutes. Just another day in Florida. Right. Right on, Laura. Okay, so while we wait, if she doesn't get back on in a few minutes, I will get BRV on, and whoop, she's popping back in.
Wow, holy shit.
Hey, there you are.
Wow. Hey, did that stop for everybody or just me?
No, it's just you. You froze, and then you sat there, and then eventually you got kicked off. So, yeah, that was interesting. I just started going down some of the lists of stuff that we were talking about for them to think about. So,
okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think I'm having problems with my internet, or maybe the VPN is messing stuff up, or maybe I pissed somebody off and I've got some stuff going on. But okay. Well, in the meantime.
Yes. Hello. You're on the opposite side. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, 7:30.
Yep, you froze. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know if she can hear me or not. Let's see. You are froze again. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it could be that. Hello there. Thank you for everybody else that's wandering in. Very nice. Thank you. And well, hey, at least her mouth's not hanging open on this. Yes. All right. So I guess give her another second. If she doesn't get back in, I think I'm going to kick her off there for a second, see if she can get restarted. So all right, let me answer a few questions. And here's a good question. She did say that she lives where the tornadoes hit a while ago. Yes. And not sure where that is going, if it's reference to her pool. We haven't had tornadoes down here, not recently, but thankfully. And unfortunately, we've heard a lot of bad weather going on in other states. Sorry to hear. And she is restarting. So, yeah, Michael, there's a lot going on. And I kind of wonder if, sometimes they know April's doing things. So, yep, she did. That's a good one. Yeah, she did piss off the internet gods. So, yeah, in here, that's what we're supposed to be talking about today, right? Oh, yeah, throw some questions in there and I'll mark them for BRV in this conversation about how you feel about, is it necessarily faith or was Jesus a person? We don't want to get too heavy deep into the Pope and stuff, but yes, it is a ghost, Michael. And yeah, we do get small tornadoes here in Florida. They're nothing like you see out in the Midwest. And taking your network to Roku, we are done with Google overlords. I like that idea. So you'll have to tell us more a bit about that. I don't know what a Roku network is. There's lots of options. Restarting internet and computer, she's saying. She's having lots of major issues. Okay, well, we'll just keep on rocking. And yes, we are entitled to our opinions. Just got to think before we act. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it was sad to see the Pope pass away, and it's a new generation. Some people are upset about this Pope, that they think that he's going to follow the path of how everybody should have faith, and instead of preaching about Catholicism and stuff like that, they feel like he's not going to bring it back. Hi. Hello. What's up?
Hi.
Ginger.
I restarted the news and my computer. No guarantees that things are going to work. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, I was just going over some things and asking everybody to keep it in the back of their mind, talking about the Pope and stuff. Okay. So when BRV comes on and their thoughts about Jesus and everything. So I don't know what the Roku platform is, but Madness Entertainment, we know who that is. I think it's Kari.
Yeah, somebody was joking and said the tariffs are working so well, even the Pope was made in America.
Nice. Yeah, I get what you're saying about direction on the church, and I think that's what everybody's waiting to happen. I saw a little thing about how yesterday, I guess people are saying JD Vance and the Pope did not start off on the right foot, but I think everybody's reading into the body language on that. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I'm sure there was no disrespect there. I can't imagine there would be. Well, that's an interesting perspective. Okay. Jesus comes back, we'll just kill him again. So.
So Billy Ray is backstage. I can't open that video now because I had to restart. So
let me see if I have it up here, if I can get it to play.
Let's welcome him to join us. Yeah. BRV, welcome. Thank you. It's so nice to see you.
It's good to see you. Can you see me? I mean, can you hear me?
I can absolutely see you and
hear you now.
Excellent, fantastic. I was backstage
like butter,
rooting for you to get back on. I was there throughout the technical difficulties, but I'm glad you made it.
Thank you. I know I saw you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hello, Ava. How are you?
I am well. How you been?
Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
I will take it. It's Eva, but close.
Eva.
All right, Eva. I butcher names left and right. So.
That's okay. So do I. Oh my God. Yes, I do it all the time.
April, is always good to see you, of course. Thank you for having me.
We see her elbow. There you are.
I'm turning my fan on. Apparently, I tripped over it while I was running to fix my internet. Thank you.
Well, don't get any more bumps, bruises, neck pain.
Yeah. Well, you can see where that would happen, right?
Yes.
You can see how it would happen. Oh man.
So BRB, how you been?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm fine. I'm tired. I'm always running around, which is good, right? You don't want to just be still, even though there should be room for that. And I feel like I don't have room for that lately, but whatever. Not lately. Ever since April has known me, I've been running around like a freaking maniac, and it hasn't calmed down. You know, so.
Well, hopefully it's good things, though.
What's up?
Good stuff, I hope you've been doing.
For the most part, there's some bad stuff.
You're out of school now, right?
Yeah, I finished that a few years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
good for you.
I wrapped that a few years ago. So I'm working in the field now, and I have 2 jobs, which is amazing. I'm a speech language pathologist, for those who don't know. I don't really. I've never actually disclosed that publicly. So I'll disclose it here and never mention it again. And if you confront me with that information, I'll just deny it. So
what we love about you too.
but yeah, so I've been doing that, and it's incredibly rewarding, and I'm still learning every day, but it was a shift in what I did. I was in corporate America for some time, so April knows the story, right? I quit my job because I just didn't want to do it anymore, and I went this route, and it's great. I'm just busy, so I'm trying to find my way to some type of normalcy. Like I asked for a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, and I'm like, I'm gonna play video games again.
Good for you.
Right? Because it's fun, right? And my kids wanted to play video games with me, so they got me this thing, and I've touched it a total of 3 times maybe since December, but I'm etching out time so I can play these different video games that I know nothing about, that my kids are going to kill me in, and Grand Theft Auto 6, which I'm waiting for. Other than that, that's it. That's all I got.
Did you see the thing with I guess Fortnite and the SAG-AFTRA thing where they're using like the Darth Vader voice?
No.
So it's fun. Like Hollywood was wanting, remember all the writer strikes and the actor strikes because they wanted to use AI for all of that, and they wanted the right to use AI.
Right.
Well, ironically, now they're using all the biggest thing right now is all the voices for the video games, right? They've gotten so cool.
Yeah.
Well, Darth Vader is in Fortnite, and I guess James Earl Jones signed off on this, and his family signed off on this, and now all of a sudden Hollywood is like, or SAG-AFTRA, SAG is like, no, you can't use AI for this voice. He was a SAG actor, and we deserve some of that money.
Right.
Wow. No, I never heard about that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's funny, but I the irony sometimes, but yeah, I think that's a great thing. I don't think we can ever make time. We can't find time for anything. We have to make it,
Yeah,
like
man.
you said, carve it out.
Right.
That's a really good term.
Otherwise, it's not happening. But happy to be here. Happy to be talking to you guys.
Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you.
Oh, man,
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for putting up with my ridiculous schedule. I appreciate you, April. Thank you.
No, whatever. I'm just glad you're here. I had a video all queued up to watch that was like this really interesting. I don't know if you can pull it up, Eva.
I'm actually working on that right now.
I just got like kicked off Instagram, possibly forever, for violating terms of service. They didn't even say what I did.
Well, that sucks. Why would
right? And I don't know what's going on, but I don't. But the video was through Instagram, and it was interesting. It was talking about going from 3rd dimension living to 4th dimension, and it was maybe you said you were interested in talking about metaphysical stuff, and I was like, oh, cool, let's do this.
Right.
So there's these concepts I've been kicking around, right?
Okay.
I love concepts. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to know if we're right. No one's ever come back and be like, "You're right, man, you're wrong."
It's
you're
funny. Right. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was a guest on a show about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and somebody asked me, like, shouts to Wheezy. it's his show. It's like, what is truth or whatever. And that's the first question he asked me. He was like, what is truth? And I'm like, damn, man, nobody ever really asked me that. And I'm like, well, I don't know. And I don't think anyone else knows. Right. And that's the point of all of this. Right. I think it's my opinion, of course, but no one knows. Right. No one knows what happens after this. We can only speculate. So I think that's the whole reason behind this reality, is just trying to find out and not necessarily ever really finding out. Right. This is just trying. And that's the best I could come up with when it was a more long drawn out answer when I did it over there or whatever, which I don't remember. But at the end of the day, it was, we will never know. We will never know. And I don't think we were designed to know. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that was part of the plan here, Okay.
I think that our biggest, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess defect is that we have a hard time with the not knowing.
Right.
So we can't seem to get comfortable with not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't know something, we have to label it. Like, we have to label it as, well, that's not proven, so obviously it's not true, or we can't see that, it's not material,
right,
so it doesn't exist.
Right.
So everything we see is going to disappear. Yeah. Everything in this world we can lay our eyes on is going to disappear. It's the things that we can't see that go on forever.
I'd love that. No, I'd love to. I believe that, and I want to believe it. In
theory,
of course, right? Like we don't know. Like, but you're absolutely right. Every single thing that we are experiencing right now in our lifetimes will cease to exist.
Yeah,
every single thing is going to be gone. Right. But maybe it doesn't cease to exist totally, just in the form that we know it now. It's gone and something else lives on. I like to think that there's some purpose to this. That we're not just biological robots of some sort. So I'd like to think that something else goes on when we pass on.
That's my theory. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think I think the Bible is, and a lot of the religious texts in general, not just the Bible. And I know when I say Bible and Jesus, sometimes people are like, and full disclosure, I'm not a Christian.
Right.
So I'm not.
Nor am I.
And she's a pagan. But I find studying all the religions really fascinating. And I don't think the Bible was meant to be taken literally. I think it was meant to be read. What's the word I'm looking for? It's written in parables.
Right.
So, to preserve the language. So when someone says everlasting life, I think, and this is my theory. I'm not saying this. I think that we reincarnate and the soul has everlasting life.
Yeah.
And, like decades and decades ago, they were talking about the age of Aquarius.
Right.
How could they have known that we would be in the age of Aquarius now, collectively be going into a fourth dimension like 40 years ago? How could they have known that? That was like 40 or 50 years ago when that song came out.
Oh, this is the dawning of the age
of Aquarius.
Right,
and they said that there would be, and everything they said, there would be a full awakening. Truth would matter. It would be taking down. It would be less about greed and you and more about we and bringing things to light. Like everything that they predicted is kind of where we are now. How would they know that?
I would. Oh, I'm sorry. Finish up, April. Go ahead.
Well, no, the theory is that this is what they said, is our souls, humanity is meant to adapt and basically get better, evolve, right?
Right.
So we're supposed to do that together, all of us together. So every time we come back on this earth, we are dealing with our karma from past lifetimes. So each time we come here, the situations we get into, whether it's a really messed up upbringing, or the partners that we're with, these are ways to deal with the karma we've had in the past. Maybe our tikkun or our karma is terrible relationships or abuse or abandonment or whatever we deal with. We straighten it out in the past. So each time we raise our vibration and our elevation, not only for us, but for everybody across the board, as they are as well. So as we go through these cycles, all of us together, because we're all connected, we elevate humanity a little bit every single time. That's the theory. And the soul, you know, that the body is just the car and the soul is the driver. The car wears out, but the soul goes on.
That's the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
That's I studied
Hindu, right?
Yeah. And I forget it. I knew it because I had to know it.
That's Kabbalah as well.
That I know very little about, you know, but yeah, you know,
me neither, War Demon. He's like, I don't want to come back anymore. Me neither. So yeah.
but you know, they've been, you know, talking about the age of Aquarius coming and the awakening and all of that. And I have a bit of a different take. I don't, well, the age of Aquarius, I think it's a 2,000 year cycle or something like that. I think it's cyclical, right? So that's why that's why they said the age of Aquarius is dawning. But I don't think we're in an awakening at all.
Why?
I don't think we're
really. Really?
How come? Tell.
Yeah. No, I think we have fallen further into a delusion, in my opinion. But this may spill over into what's going on in the world today, right? I don't feel like people are awake. I don't feel that we're moving in the right direction at all. You know, I think we've been devolving as humans for quite some time, I think.
Somewhat, yeah.
I think that like what you said, like I'm a Christian, right? But I'm not a prototypical Christian. Like some people would call me a pagan. I had somebody called me a devil worshiper at some point. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I'm not those things. I believe a lot like you that the Bible is not literal. If you're taking it literally, you're missing out on the points, in my opinion. You know, but there are fundamentalist Christians that are Bible thumping Christians. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to be and that's what you want to believe. But they're literalist, and I don't subscribe to that point of view, and that's perfectly fine with me. Like, I don't know, maybe they're right. Maybe I just don't believe that to be the case. I think the Bible, which is a collection of books, right? The Bible never refers to itself as the Bible because it wasn't meant to be the Bible. It's a collection of books that people maybe from what we've learned in the Council of Nicaea, they brought them together. If that narrative is even correct, which it may not be. But I think we've been falling further and further into a delusion, like a mass delusion. One of my good friends, John Brissom, who is I would describe him as a fundamentalist Christian. He believes it's the end of the world, you know.
A lot of them do, yeah.
Right. He believes that Donald Trump is the Antichrist and it's the end of the world.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Some people
and
do,
he makes a hell of an argument for it. You know, I don't believe that.
I've heard those arguments.
Right. I don't believe that to be the case. You know, but
Revelations.
Right. But he does. And I ask him, I'm like, what, you know, I run this through some of my friends and people that I talk to, and I'm like, I feel like we're under some type of mass delusion. Like, what the hell is going on nowadays? And the way he would explain that away is by saying, well, it's the end times, Billy. It's a mass delusion that's been placed on the people. But yeah, I don't think we're going through an awakening. I wish we were. I don't know how we come back from this. And it's been quite some time that I've been thinking about this. And I've said this on your show, probably, you know, I've done your show many times, so I'm sure I've said this before. So people that are followers of your show will probably hear me, you know, be like, oh, I've heard Billy say that before. But I think the technology end of it, while it's beautiful, has hindered us, right? It has stumped our growth, and we largely can't. And by largely, I mean 99% of the population on the planet, and maybe it's 99.9%, can't reach those other levels. I think those levels exist, and I think we have access to them, but we can't reach them. First off, we don't know how. Second, we're creating an artificial environment, an artificial world to replace what we can't access, to do for us what we have forgotten how to do. In my opinion, like, we're a species with amnesia. We've forgotten who we are and what we can do and how we can do it. But we create all of these things like the internet and all these beautiful things. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met April, And so it's gorgeous, right? It's a gorgeous thing. These things are amazing, and there are a lot of benefits to them, but they're also detrimental to the progress of humankind. And that's where I feel that we're at. And every year that goes by, I feel we just fall deeper and deeper into this quicksand of, I don't even know what to describe it, but I don't think I think it's a false great awakening.
So you feel very hopeful then? So you see a lot of light.
It's funny because like it's hard to that's another thing. Billy's black pilled. Billy's so black pilled, and I'm like, and I'm not black pilled, man. I'm truth pilled, right? So I think it was my friend Twisted that coined that. Truth pilled. I like that a lot better. So I'm like, I'm truth pilled. Doesn't mean I'm not optimistic. It may not be good for us, but for our future generations, we might have a shot, at breaking through. But I don't think that's what us collectively on the planet right now. I don't think it was meant for us. I think we're the ones that have to deal with the delusion and try to fight out of it. I think that's where we are, but
on that, I'll agree. I think we have to fight out of a lot of things right now. But I have seen a lot of people. I mean, I've never met so many aware and awakened people in my travels as I have the last couple of years, where I
have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it like this. So I would have to disagree with you on the now. It may be, as somebody put it, a false awakening, or
that's what I think it is.
It could be before we go back to sleep with our, like in the 1920s, we had a real awakening in the 1920s. Then we went to war and it shut it down. We had some of the most amazing and greatest thinkers and speakers and authors. I mean, we had just a complete enlightenment in that era, and it was axed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like every 100 years, right? Here we are, the 2020s. So,
yes.
They make the argument for the fourth turning, right? That we are at the fourth turning because we are the most decadent and the most what is it? We're the weakest part of the cycle. I'm not fully well versed on the fourth turning and how to explain it, so I shouldn't have brought it up. But I
don't even know what that is. Actually, I do not.
Fourth turning. Yeah. Look it up. It's a whole book. They have a whole book and it's been used a lot in the last few years to describe where we are as a people, right? So I believe that to be the case. We are just like what is the measuring stick? What are the requirements for an awakening, right? To constitute an awakening. What are we talking about when we say so many people are awake?
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Does there have to be rules for it, or can it just be?
It doesn't.
Well,
it's not.
Yeah. This would be the point where we play the video. And
I have it up.
Before that, Winona says, I always wondered if the God that is taught in the Bible is the true God. They always teach he has unconditional love, understanding, and patience, yet they give examples of him burning and destroying cities that challenge what's out there and banish people from the garden simply for seeking knowledge. fair thing.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of contradictions in the Bible, and we can't say that, right? I mean, well, we can, and we are, right? We're doing it right now. But for some people, that becomes offensive.
Yeah, it's heresy.
You know, there's contradictions in the Bible, right? Like, I mean, clearly, there were conditions to the love, right? If you
there's a lot of smiting.
If you read the Old Testament,
we're smiting and we're smiting and we're smiting, and then we're like, "Fuck this! We're flooding these motherfuckers. Let's try again.
Get rid of them.
It's time for a flood."
Get rid of them.
If people are saying
y'all don't start acting up, there's going to be a flood. All right,
at least a flood.
Act right. You need to act right. Now you have the video, right? You have the
yes
volume on. Okay, so this is just a theory. For some reason, this theory, some of it resonates with me. I want to see what you guys think.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work.
All right. And this is what we were talking about with third dimension living, fourth dimensional living, and kind of like I said, that souls evolving and all that. So you know how to do that? It's present or invite.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but it's asking me which screen. So
it'll be the Instagram screen.
Yeah. How many tabs do you have open?
Too many. I just shut some.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the tab is gonna be the one.
All right, here it is. All right,
okay. That's it.
I have faith in you.
Oh, look at you! Thank you.
You got to go back and then start it again with the volume.
Just got to click on it.
Unless you don't have the volume on.
I do have the volume on. Yes.
No, it says an X at the bottom.
That little button on the bottom. Just click on that little button.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna have to rewatch it.
Oh, that's fine.
Click on the volume.
The volume is on. I'm just trying to restart it. That's all.
Don't worry about it. Just let it play.
Let it play and we'll start over again. Baby doll, click on the volume. No one can hear it.
Yeah, is it unmuted?
Yeah, no, it's muted.
It's muted still.
Could you please click on the volume?
There's that little button on the bottom.
Click on the bottom. Yeah.
Boom.
Thank you.
And let's play.
Okay. I was hearing it. That's why I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry.
Okay, now.
Okay.
Click again. Now turn it up. Why are we not hearing anything?
April, send it to me. I'll play it, or put it in the chat.
I can't send it. She can send it though.
Just put it in the chat here on StreamYard.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, I thought I had it, and I got kicked out of Instagram, and maybe it's because I'm the admin and I can't do it.
Put it in a private chat.
Okay.
Or if you want, put it in a regular chat. It doesn't matter, whichever is easiest for you, and I'll try to play it on my end. But what's it about, April?
He explains that Jesus may have been translated incorrectly by the church and used for a different I might be getting this wrong, but used in a different way than we actually should have and could have understood it. So we may understand it as somewhat of a savior complex when it's actually meant to be a Christ consciousness, and everything that we have is within us.
Okay.
So this is, and he goes on to explain this, that we're less dependent on the church and more independent than we realize to get in touch with our spirituality, I guess is the short version of it.
All right. I have it here. I'm going to try.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
And don't thank me yet. Let's hope it works.
Earth during a time where they were letting go of third density karmic cycles, and he came to plant the seeds of fourth density consciousness. So Jesus was not something that was above us. What he actually was just something that was ahead of us. Jesus even went through his own process of remembering. From the years of 12 to 30, he studied at places like mystery schools, and he activated his light body and the Christ consciousness within him. This was referred to as his lost years. From what he learned, he went and taught society about unity, oneness with God, and forgiveness, so that people could start to get access to fourth density consciousness themselves. And what he was teaching was not to worship him or something outside of yourself. He said, the kingdom of God is within you. You are God's. You are all sons of the Most High. And you will do even greater things than I. What he was teaching was to help people remember the power that they held inside of themselves. And Jesus didn't die for your sins. What he died for was to show you unconditional love and to break the illusion that you are separate from God. But religion took this and said that in order to get to God, you have to go through Jesus. But actually, what he was teaching was that God is already within you. In order for us to truly evolve to fourth density consciousness, we have to break free from this illusion that religion has taught us. We cannot continue to worship these things outside of ourselves, because as we do that, we lose our power. It's time for us to remember that God is within us. It will never be outside of us. And when we recognize that we have that divine nature within, we can come into unity with all beings who are all representations of us.
Is that all of it, or do you need me to play some more of it?
I know. I think that's all of it. We missed the very beginning, right? But I think it's.
You want me to play it?
Did we miss much in the beginning?
I don't know.
I don't think so, but
okay.
Yeah, I can stitch it together, I guess, real quick.
All right, go ahead and hit it.
I can play it. Okay. All
okay.
Right.
Like every Instagram background
photo to be worshipped. What he actually came here for was
to
show
we got it all.
God is within us. Okay. Jesus was a being who was a fourth density.
All right.
Yeah. So we got that. So I mean, it's just awesome. A concept, you know. I'm seeing, you know, as a former Gnostic, Weave says this is horribly out of context. Someone else said New Age kind of thing. I'm a conquistador Catholic type. Also, nobody's right if everybody's wrong. A Freemason told me exactly what that guy is saying. Someone else said this is a very interesting concept. So, I mean, you know, it's. I
don't know. I would like to hear it. Yeah, I know where I'm at on that, but go ahead.
I know. Eva just couldn't. Eva didn't even want to watch it because she's like, "Oh, I see the word Jesus. No."
It wasn't really that. I just my belief in him is different. That's all.
Okay.
So.
And you know, I believe that no one has this figured out. Actually, I don't believe. Well, I think I'm at 99% that I know that no one has this figured out. Right. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Right.
Talking about all of this. It would have been figured out for us, and we would have been doing something else. And I don't think that's the nature of this reality. Right. For one, I can resonate with a lot of the concepts that the gentleman presented, although most likely a lot of it is wrong, right? Technically wrong, right? But and I'm not the person to sit here and pick it apart, but people would, you know. There's this guy I follow, Dan McClellan. He's an expert on biblical studies. You know, and he would probably take some of those concepts and say, "Oh, you're wrong here. You're wrong here." He breaks it down very technically, and so it's like I love listening to him. It's a totally different perspective. But what I do resonate with is that I do think that I don't believe in the whole original sin thing. That everybody's a sinner off the bat, you know, it's just a very, I don't like the concept. It's not something that I resonate with.
Yeah.
So putting that aside, like I do believe that we each have the essence of God within us. Otherwise we wouldn't be alive. You know, I think that all of us have a piece of creation of, like, I think we are all connected in that manner. And when we die, we release it. In a very plain level, we can interpret it as breath, right? Breath is what gives us, you know, when we take our first breath is when we're alive, and until we're breathing, you know, we live the life, and when the breath leaves our body, we die, right? So that's at a very basic level that we share that, like, right? Is that the soul? Is the breath? Like when you live with somebody, are they your soulmates because you're inhaling the same thing, over and over again, so it's like I can resonate with that. I think that we can achieve other levels of consciousness, and I don't think that is evil. A lot of organized religion, well, that's evil. It's the Kundalini. It's evil. You're not supposed.
Oh my God, I've seen people say yoga is evil.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I have
extreme Christians. I'm like, oh, okay.
I have a few very good friends, like about 3 of them that hit me with that when I go do yoga. It's evil. You're gonna open yourself.
Yeah,
up.
You're opening yourself up to worshiping the wrong gods.
Like, this doesn't. And my
devil might creep right in.
Right.
My retort to that is then why were we given that ability? Right?
There you go.
Why was it given to us then?
It's coming from the devil.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that we can access higher levels of. I don't think we were. What's going on?
It's exercise.
It's exercise. It is.
It is though. It is no, but it is more than just exercise though.
It's like I think yoga is like martial arts. It's one of the things that exercises your mind and your body. It's got discipline in it too.
There's discipline, but there's also health aspects to it.
Yeah.
These people were doing these. And they look at, the poses that are invoking spirits. No, these poses are unlocking things inside of us, or at least helping us to have better functions with our organs or whatever's going on. It's healthy, right? It's healthy to do. It's also very fun. Yeah, I've done yoga many, many times. I should have had 8 million, God knows what's run through my body at this point. I don't think it's happened. I don't have any evidence for it, but who knows? Like, I mean, it could be right, it could be wrong. I just think it's nonsense, and I think a lot of organized religion has served to stump our growth as well. It doesn't.
Yes.
Mental growth. Yes.
Praise everybody.
It doesn't. By saying it's evil, by saying that you should not access these things that are inside of you.
Yeah.
You should not be able to unlock your highest mental capacity because it's evil. Then why was I given this mental capacity by the Creator in the first place?
Think about just on that on this topic. Think about just on a biological thing here. Think about sex for a minute. Sex is the most powerful energy because it's creator energy, right? So if you are an orgasm is a creator energy. Like if you abundance, prosperity, it's the shame that we have all had growing up until recently, and even recently, maybe this surrounds sex and masturbation that have destroyed people. It is awful. I mean, it's awful. When like literally the female orgasm is linked to nothing. It does nothing except for boost your immune system. You don't need it. Don't need it for procreation. You don't need it for anything. All it does is boost your immune system.
I think.
And your mental.
Why would they give you that?
It's beautiful. Listen,
that's right. It's beautiful.
It is. It's
beautiful, baby.
It's fantastic. And I remember I suffer from migraines. When I orgasm, the migraine goes away
because it opens up your sinuses.
Yeah, it comes back afterward.
Yeah.
But that power, there's something there, you know.
It clears the sinuses.
Yeah, well, it's weird. You're a migraine person. Gee, that's awesome. I bet your wife's very happy. Good for you.
Hey, I wish to have more of this. Like why would you not? Like I just don't understand. There are so many things that we are robbed of in this existence, in my opinion. because of the way we've been brought up, and because of, and I am a Christian, but I can't not see what some people have maneuvered the belief system to gain, to put forth their own interpretation of that belief system, and stop everybody else from doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Or doing what they want to do. Well, I'm sorry.
Look April, at all. No, and I'm saying, look at all the Gnostic Gospels. So look at all the books that were removed from the Bible.
Right.
That were taken out by the Catholic Church on purpose. Right. A lot of people don't even know that.
It's a control factor. It's also a control factor. Keep the people below you small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and in their place,
they can't
keep them subordinate.
Yep.
But exactly. Most importantly, and I don't want to lose this point, so I just want to make it with the video that you showed. You guys got to explain to me fourth dimensional living at some point, right? Just so I can know what that is. But I was fascinated, it still am, largely with the light body, right? The rainbow body. And I was first introduced to it by a friend who was telling me, read up on these concepts in Tibetan Buddhism, and what they claim that they can achieve. Are you guys familiar with the rainbow body?
No, fill me in.
The light body. He talked about the light body in that clip.
Right.
He talked about it's a state of achievement that humans can achieve, but it's literally the highest state. And you literally become light or a rainbow, right? And they say there are documented stories, I guess, of people that say they have witnessed this in Tibet. Like if you look up the rainbow body, and they have a whole, of people that say they have witnessed it from very super devoted yogis or teachers, of that a sect of Buddhism, that they've been able to reach that level. And I feel like you can find evidence for that in the Bible, and people don't want to. They don't want to, not everybody. I'm generalizing here, but some people just don't even want to accept that. Like, just because it's like, I don't know, they feel like it's so puritanical for some reason. It's like you're a human, you're a bad human, you're bad, you're a very bad person. Your feelings are bad, right? You want to have sex, and that's awful. That's really, really bad. And you can't do anything beyond what you're doing because you want to be God. Like, no. I don't want to be God. We will never be God. None of us will ever be God. But we can be human. And are we being the optimal human? Are we being the best human that we can be? I don't think we are. I think we're falling so short of this, of what it is to be human, that is the sin. That is the problem.
Then you'll like these definitions then.
What's up? Tell me.
So third level consciousness, third density consciousness is allegedly where we've been, and we're supposed to be moving to fourth density now, with the age of Aquarius, allegedly. So third level of awareness is self-esteem consciousness. At this stage, individuals focus on themselves, their personal achievements, recognition, and self-worth. Building confidence and gaining respect from others are key motivators. Fourth density consciousness, often discussed within spiritual and metaphysical contexts, represents a significant shift in awareness and understanding of reality compared to the commonly experienced third density. So the breakdown are the core principles: love and compassion. Fourth density consciousness is deeply rooted in love, compassion, and the recognition of the interconnectedness of all beings. Oneness and unity. It emphasizes the understanding that all creation is one and separation is nothing but an illusion. Service to others or self. A key aspect is a choice between serving oneself, with the understanding that this can lead to an experience of separation and its limitations, or serving others as the collective good. Heart-based consciousness. It moves beyond egocentric thinking and embraces a heart-centered perspective, prioritizing love and empathy over fear. So the transition means it talks about polarity and duality.
Hey.
So it says that we start living in a separated thing, 2 levels. So you have a third and then a fourth, and they are quite separate at this point.
Yeah.
I got something to add to all that, if you don't mind.
Please do.
So I looked up some of that. Like, I've heard the references that, the 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, and I think I brought that up. That so I was curious, and I was looking into, and I found people that are or groups that are devoted to the dimensions of consciousness, and a lot of it goes back to the I am theory. And 1D is supposed to be like the physical person, your hand or whatever. 2 is supposed to be the wakefulness, awareness, or the arousal. 3, which there is the law of physics, basically the ego, physicality, the thinking mind. So it does not surprise me that 4D would be the mind itself, the information, the mental capacity, the intellect, the empathy, and the matrix or the astral. Then I was like, well, where's that go? If we're going to 4D, what's after that? Some sites and some references and groups actually go all the way to 12. But
which might be the light body.
Right. Well, actually, the light body, the embody of God, as it's written, is supposed to be 6D. So 5 is love, truth, emotional heart, pure flow, or ascension. So in other words, like you're out of this body and you're hanging out. And 6D is actually that you're at the level of just below God or angels, if I could put it that way. So it was interesting reading up on it, how many groups and follow this, not just the should I say the metaphysical. And so it's kind of interesting, actually, and I like what you read on that too, April. And have you ever heard of any of that as well, Billy?
No, not to that level. It did remind me of some Freemason concepts, because there's different degrees, but some people have it at 360 degrees. I don't think that's real. But some people follow that, right? And they have it up there, and they have the angels, and I don't know who sits at 360. It's too much for me to remember, but it goes that far, Right. I know some Freemasons, and I know some from Freemasons too, April. And it's not
my family,
right. And it's not. I don't know where all this stuff comes from.
I don't either.
But we are in the third dimension, right? That's where we are. I think maybe when we pass away, we move on to a different dimension. I'm not sure. I don't know. That's why I asked you. I was like, what does the fourth dimension actually mean? But I for one think we can achieve these things. I think we can, and there is evidence for it. This isn't like well, some of it might be far-fetched, right? But some of these Tibetan monks, and this is scientifically proven, can change the temperature of their body at will. At will, okay?
Your mind controls your body. A lot of people don't know this.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's insane, and that's why, my kids were actually we're still working on this. They want to do some type of martial arts for the summer and beyond. So I'm like, all right, let's look for something, right? And there was they wanted to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm like, no, that's out, man. I'm like, I'm not letting you do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And they're like, why not? Like, well, what does it serve you for? I'm like, what do you unless you want to fight professionally, if that's what you want to do, let's do it, right? And I'll put you in some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? But then they were like, well, what do you want for us? I'm like, I want you to learn not only how to defend yourself, but only when that needs to happen. But I want you to learn how to control your mind and your emotions. I would like for you to take some kung fu, maybe, and with the right people, right? Not just around the corner kung fu. Like I want them to, so we've been trying to sort this out in New York, and I probably won't find what I'm looking for, but I want them to be able to do
stoicism.
Yeah, exactly. It's not far-fetched to believe that we can do these things, because there are people right now that can do these things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think we can do more. I think we can do more than that. And I have no evidence for that besides my own wild imagination.
I talk about this all the time. Ask her. Her nickname for me is Jedi.
Well, it's true, because we all have this ability.
We have so many mind powers that we have been told that we don't have. We're told we have 5 senses when we actually have at least 6. We have this, and we have the ability to do so much more than we understand.
I agree with you 100%.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I've personally
we've turned into reactive emotional tards.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not good.
Becoming stoic and understanding that your emotions should not ever control you is the first step. You are 100% correct.
Incredibly hard to do.
It really is.
Right.
It's realizing, trying to shut these things off, like trying to shut off the language in your the narrative, the jargon in your brain that goes on 24/7. And realizing who you are, like honest expression of who you are. I think those are the two.
It can
of course you can do it.
You create the neural pathways, and it gets easier and easier after.
Yeah, of course you can do it. And I believe that we can do these things, and I want to try. I want to try to do these things. So I'm going to enroll in something this
do or do not. There is no try.
There is no try. You're absolutely right.
I say I walk around saying that all the time. I'm like, do it or don't. There's no try.
No, you're right. You're right. I tell that to my son all the time. He's like, I'm going to try to do this for you. I'm like, no. He's like, oh yes, do. I've personally experienced things in my life that led me to believe that something else is up. Right. I have brought people to me with my mind. I've done it. I don't know how I did it. I don't have any control over it.
You have control over it.
Not right now. I think we could get control over it. I just don't know how to do it. On more than one occasion, I've had lucid dreams. Those things are real, right? I can wake up not like my. Well, I haven't been able to do this in a few years, by the way. But I used to wake up not like my dream, go back into my dream and change it. I've been able to do that. I haven't not recently, but these are things that I've been able to do. There's also that other sense that we all have when we feel that something's up, right? And then boom, something happens, or we feel the energy force of somebody standing behind you, and you know who it is just by the energy. I had somebody walk into my room. I was in a conference room in my corporate job by myself. And the door was wide open. Somebody walks in, and I didn't hear them walk in. I didn't know that there was actually someone there, but I felt it. I felt it, and I was like, oh, because it was somebody I didn't like. And I felt that.
The energy.
Right. I felt the energy. And I'm like, oh, and I turned around and I'm like, there she is. Of course.
Our aura is 88 inches. We can feel people's energy.
Right.
And that's an issue when you work close with somebody.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a deja vu. I don't believe that that's a coincidence either.
It's not. No,
I don't either. Right? What do you think? What do you believe it is?
A glitch in the matrix.
Huh? Okay.
I literally believe it's a glitch in the matrix. Everything is created
by our thoughts.
Because you know how we create things as humans, and
we are creators.
And yes, we are. Right. And these things that we create are really good, right? And I'm talking, let's see this microphone. It's a really good microphone. It's an excellent mic, right? And it does the job that it needs to do, but it might have a hiccup here or there. Maybe that's what the Matrix is. You know, and sometimes there's a little glitch and you remember something. It might not be even a glitch. It might be something like you were talking about, or like a reincarnation, or maybe we repeat the same events over and over again until we get it, or something like that. But something's definitely up, right? Because everybody's experiencing this. This isn't a coincidence, and it's not a delusion. It's not something that we're making up. Everyone experiences deja vu.
Yeah.
You know,
and no one can explain it.
No, that's another reason to believe that we all affect each other and we all can communicate, and you know, the collective conscious.
So all of these things are a thing, and I feel like the Bible doesn't necessarily negate any of these things. It's people's interpretation of that book.
All right.
Right, that would say, no, it is not this way, because my interpretation is the only one that works. I figured it out. You know, they're like, I figured it out. No one else could figure it out. No one else could figure it out, but I did. And the people that believe it the way I do also did. And you're wrong. And that's a problem on so many different levels. And it evolves into the Christian nationalism that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I have a question for you on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Bible's actually very mystical, and I think it perpetuates a lot of the mystics' vision on things, whether that's Kabbalah or Sufism or any of the mystic that, you know, Rosicrucian, all of that. There's a lot of mysticism in there that has been, I think, not understood or mistranslated. So, Eva, I cut you off. I'm sorry. What
no. I was curious of what the opinion is of BRV with the new Pope.
Oh, man, I don't know.
That's a big one, but you know, just you know.
You know, I was talking to some of my boys. Shouts to Wheezy and Twisted and John Brisman.
Yeah, see, some of your friends are on here. That's
awesome. Some of
them
are here, and they're shouting out to you too.
Yeah, I told them I would be on, and I sent them a link.
Thank you.
Because they got nothing better to do anyway, so they may as well watch.
Tuesday night, come hang out.
Right, but you know, I was talking about. I think it was with John. I was talking about it. I'm like, I don't know where the Pope has ever affected my life, really. Yeah. You know, it's like how, I mean, he may very well have. Yeah. I just don't know it. You know, I don't know like what the sitting Pope has changed for me personally. I was baptized in the Catholic Church and I went to Catholic school for 8 years, you know, so there was that, you know, but that wasn't anything negative, and it wasn't a direct impact from the Pope to me. So I don't know, you know, Pope Francis was a bit more progressive. Yeah. And he you know, understood that not all humans are created in the same way, and they have different interests, right? And that maybe, you know, maybe homosexuality isn't a sin. Revelation, you know, in my opinion, it's not a sin. But other people think it is, you know.
Right.
I'm done arguing that point with people. You know, if you believe what you believe it. That's fine. You know, I can't do anything to change that. You're going to have to come to that realization on your own. But I know for a fact that as soon as I was born, right, what I can remember, 4 years old, I remember the first girl that I had a crush on. And I didn't choose that. That happened. You know, I was like, what is that?
And that's that's my argument too. Right. Like same like.
Right. I can't wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm attracted to that dude. No, I can't. It's because I am not built that way. It's just not the way it works. Right. So so that you know, Pope Francis was a bit more progressive in that regard.
No amount of magic and water is going to change somebody's sexuality.
No, man, that's not
on a
happening.
permanent basis.
Good luck,
So.
good luck. But this Pope, apparently he was very close with Pope Francis, Pope Leo. Mm-hmm. He was very close with Pope Francis. Actually brought him to the Vatican, from what I understand. And I think there was 132 bishops that voted for this Pope, and 108 of them were appointed by Pope Francis. So I think that it'll be similar. Yeah. Differences, of course, I don't think it'll be exactly the same, but I think they'll have similar outlooks to what's going on in the world. What type of change does a Pope actually enact upon the world stage? I don't know. I'm saying this out of ignorance, okay? There might be a bunch of stuff that I just don't know, right? But in what I've experienced as Pope John Paul II, Pope Benedict, Pope Francis, and now Pope Leo. And I don't know if I'm missing one in
I don't think so.
Somewhere, but they're just heads of the Catholic Church and the Holy See, and people worship them as if they are extensions of God. Yeah, that's all I've ever really gotten from it, And then there was, the whole theory that Rome is the religious head of the world, right? It's like Rome and
no way, that's Clearwater. This is where Scientology is.
Right.
They control everything.
Yes, they do down here.
But yeah, like, I mean, I really don't have any real thoughts on the Pope beyond that. Like, it was an event. Like, at work, we stopped what we were doing and put it on the television when they chose him. Pretty cool. People were out there losing their minds. It was like,
yeah,
it was like the New York Knicks.
That's scary to me. Okay, that's scary to me.
That's why I asked this question.
Tell me, go ahead.
As if they're a god. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple things on that I'd like to say, actually, if you don't mind.
Go on.
Go ahead.
And
so
Eva has a reactive situation to the word Jesus. I will say this.
Oh, I wasn't going there yet.
Okay,
but anyway,
go on.
No, I was going to say about the Pope. I was going to add on to what he was saying is what's different about him. What could he do to change things? Francis was known as more like a unity. Like, hey, as long as you're, and as long as you believe in something, that's great. You don't have to believe in one thing, just something. Right. Where
all religions are the path to God.
Right. Exactly. So to continue that, in my opinion, is great. But to a lot of others, it's not the tradition. It's not the way it is. It's not how church is. And so they're kind of upset that if he goes the same route as Francis, they're going to have another how many years of a young Pope being in there that they don't get to. Nope, you have to go to church. You have to bow down. You have to be Catholic.
Because they want to do the collection. They got to do the collection. They got to pass the collection. Get them in the church.
Yeah,
get them in the goddamn church.
Yeah, so then the diversity thing.
That's the point, okay?
Exactly. And I understand churches have to thrive, but that's not the way to do it.
We have an electric bill to pay, okay?
Right. Yes, and a big one in some of these churches. But
yeah, they do.
Anyway, so that's my opinion and my take on that part. But yeah, the whole Jesus thing, she's right. I'm just going to say it out there. So when she first sent me that video, I was like, what the fuck? So I pretty much was like, why are you sending this to me? You know how I feel.
But just watch it. Just watch it with an open mind.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to sit and break it down and watch it like 10 times over a couple days to stop being so hot-headed about it. And I'm not well versed in the Bible. I'm not, but I am learning more and more about it. So here's my take on that situation is, I believe he was a person probably out there, and he was probably a person that people respected, looked at, and it grew. That respect for this gentleman, however he got here, he was a human being. I do believe he was a human being, and he put a word out there that people liked. And before you know it, stories are written about him. He's, persecuted, and that would happen to somebody today, probably, maybe not in such a harsh way. So I think he was a real person. I think, that, books were written about him, stories were written about for a reason. There's a collective thing that he existed, and he had good things to say, and he was fought against for that reason, or they thought some people believed he was bad for that reason. But so I believe he was a real human being. To immortalize him though or something, I just can't. But I'm getting better at it. I'm not knee jerking over it anymore. So.
Jesus is not your enemy. It's these people who have weaponized it that you are having a reaction to. Exactly. Jesus itself, I
hung with the hookers and the cool people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I believe he was a person. I really do.
Well, I believe that Jesus did all the things that they say he did.
Yeah, he was a long-haired freaky people,
And in the video they reference to are ye not gods, right? And it says, you will do these things and greater things. It says in the video, that's straight out of the Bible, right? But I've heard other interpretations of that because I took it literally, but I've heard other interpretations of what that means. So it may not mean exactly what we think it means, but I always had a theory that it's like follow me, right?
Is that in reference to helping others, though?
Live like Jesus, right? Do what Jesus has done. Well, what did Jesus do, right? Yeah, he did all that stuff. He was merciful and kind, and he also healed the sick, right? He also walked on water, right? So I'm like, he did those things.
I think he was a special person.
Right. It's just my theory. I concocted this in my brain. I have no evidence
me as well
or anything that I'm saying, but it's like he did these things and we're supposed to follow him. So why can't we also do those things? Jesus is supposed to be God incarnate. He came down to be human, right? So he was giving us an example of what it is. He is the manual of the optimal human. I think that's the way I like to look at it. So it's like, I can do these things too. And I know I can do some of them. There are people out there that remote view. Okay. This is
I have done that. And yes.
Have you done it successfully? You think?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. So, it's a learning thing, but, being a medium, being, let's say, open to those things in different realms.
That's a hell of a thing. Eva.
Yeah.
I know people. I will tell you, when I walked into one place one day and this woman read me from top to bottom and she didn't know who I was from a freaking hole in the wall. And she knew things about me that only I know.
I had the same thing happen to me.
Yeah.
All right. So there is that.
She told me about my dad who had died too.
God bless.
And these people, they exist. They do see things.
They
and know
do.
Things.
And I interviewed remote viewers, some of them that were involved with the government. And I asked them, I remember at the time, and I failed on that. That wasn't them because they were open to teaching me. But I was like, I gotta learn.
We have one who comes on our show on a regular basis if you want to interview her.
Linda Martush.
Remote viewer?
Yeah.
So we'll trade info. I'll give you my remote viewers and I'll take yours. Okay. That way you can interview mine. We'll do that. All right.
He's worked on some amazing projects, no doubt.
I spoke to Russell Tragg several times.
Wow.
Never had him on air, but we spoke and I thought that was something special. Given even if it was complete bullshit, right? Even if it was complete bullshit, it's still really special because of the role he played in history. And if you're into that sort of thing, it's like, wow, that's Russell Tragg, and he was nice enough to speak with me just cause.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the guys I know, I'll get you their information, but they sent me the book. And they were like, there's somebody here in New York that can help you. Well, but I never followed through with it. So,
if
maybe this summer I will remote view and I'll come in here and I'll do it for all of you guys. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I truly believe, guys, that we can do this. I believe it.
I do too.
Not only do I believe it, but I want to believe it. Right. So if you want to poke holes at me, yes, I absolutely want to believe this. That's where I am. That's why I feel the way I feel, because I definitely want to think that this is a reality. It may not be, but I want to think that it is.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
Maybe.
I think we grow as much as we want to grow, and our mind controls everything, whether it's our body or our reality. There's a reason why we think of, so I say this all the time, there's a reason we've all done this too, along with deja vu. There's a reason we think of somebody that we haven't thought of in a long time, and they reach out to us. Or,
boom, it's happened to me. Yeah.
Because we're all connected, and we're connected. It's almost like, we're connected. So, and I'm seeing a couple really good questions.
Yeah.
We have to wrap it up.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
But, where did it go? Chuck said, read Joseph Campbell's The Power of Myth. All religions have the same central theme. A certain figure in every story is the path to God. And Winona said, this one was really interesting, or that I liked. Jesus, I'm assuming, because we went back and forth, was the human vessel in which we're supposed to learn from to be able to step into our own power.
I like that.
Yeah.
I agree.
There is I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Leonard, when was the last time you set foot in a religious building? And are you aware there are a lot of religious men attempting to find their potential wife?
Oh yeah.
I'm aware. And
that's
the thing. I go to Unity churches every so often, and we went to 2 different Christmas services as well. I go every so often. Fun. Yeah, I go to churches and temples, and all time when I'm traveling too. I'll stop at different ones because usually I study a lot of religious history, so they are for sure some of the things that I want to stop and see. So whether it's sitting in on a prayer in Japan with the Buddhists, or I went to Notre Dame Notre Dame and for Easter service in France. So it's like really cool fantastic to be able to, checking out the Turkish Muslim, it's the beautiful, I guess I'm saying it wrong, turrets or something, but they're beautiful. But yeah, I mean, I'll go check everything out. So
that's being open to anything and everything, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, which we all should be.
All religions are fucked up. All religions are beautiful.
Yeah.
All religions have amazing history. All religions have had kill the infidel or convert them. All of them. No.
Well, any last thoughts, you guys?
Well, BRV, where can people find you?
I don't know.
Playing video games. I can find you playing video games.
That'd be dope. Yeah, man. As soon as I get cracking, I'm gonna put out my gamer tag, and if you wanna get your ass whooped in respective video game, fill in the blank, hit me up.
Okay, I'll do it. Send it over.
Be careful. Be careful.
For real, be careful what you wish for. I'm gonna take you up on that, Eva. All right, like the infinitefringe.podbeam.com. I haven't updated that in a long time. I put up 1 episode in the last 6 months, and that was about 2 months ago.
You're burned, right? You're burned out a little bit.
I just don't know where I'm going anymore, and a lot of things I don't believe anymore. And I've been in this for a long time, and I know these people. I know the people that are responsible for your favorite conspiracy theories. I know the people that are responsible for your favorite disinfo that was put out, and you give them. I know these people, and I'm like, okay, this is not it. And it took me a while to get there, but I'm very happy that I am there. I'm not fully out of the rabbit hole. At least I don't think I am. There are still some conspiracies that I think are legit. It's just not a lot of them. The majority of them are bullshit. So I don't, and I take it very seriously. In April, I got to have you back on, like I take it seriously. So I don't want to have people on that I don't think are going to serve a legit and righteous purpose. Because that's why I started doing the podcast in the first place, and then I'm like, damn, like why I platformed these people thinking that they were one way when they really weren't, or they were just, it just didn't work out. But we still have the podcast. It's still up there, and I'm going to update it very soon with some of the stuff that we've been doing on on my Sunday show. So now I do have a Sunday show on Ground Zero Radio. That's Ground Zero Plus. We aired live for the first time last Sunday, and that's Clyde Lewis's platform. And they were nice enough to invite me on to do a show, and I was very honored. So I said yes, although I was not fully committed to doing anything at that, and I'm still kind of there, but I wasn't going to say no to Clyde and Ron. So I'm doing that show. I do so you can find me there Sunday nights on Tony Arterburn's X, on John Brissom's We've Read the Documents. John joins me a lot of times on Sunday night. And of course on Ground Zero Plus. So go over there and sign. It's absolutely free. There's a paid version for it, of course, but not for me, just for the platform in general. But you can listen for free and sign up and chat and do all that other stuff over at Ground Zero. There's tons of shows over there. Clyde is a beast also.
Yeah, we love Tony Arterburn.
What happened?
We love Tony Arterburn.
Oh, Tony, Tony's the dude. And we still do America Unplugged every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern on those channels too. Not on Ground Zero, but on everything else, on Tony's X and on Don Jeffries' X. Not sure how long we will continue with Unplugged. I have changed radically throughout the years, and I think that's what needs to happen. I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm also not going to. Well, I have done this. I have pulled my punches because I don't want to insult anybody, or I don't want to, piss people off. But that's wearing thin now also, where where that's not the thing anymore. So, but anyway, you can find us on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern at a Ground Zero Plus, and we will be taking apart the Trump regime, taking apart the surveillance state, the technocrats, and all these pieces of filth that are running around doing what they do. You know very well that I'm not a fan of the orange buffoon. And that's one of the reasons why people have, they have visceral reactions to what I have to say.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons we like to have you on too, because sometimes we have too many people that lean right.
Right.
And we need to have more people with your voice on too. And we try and stay in the middle, but there's a lot of stuff going on that people should know about, like that you talk about. So yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah. There's those two other things I wanted to say. I'm glad you mentioned that about people with the podcasts and things.
Right.
I noticed that as well. I saw a lot of people flip-flopping as soon as we got a different administration.
Mm-hmm.
And there were personalities I thought were very genuine that seemed to flip-flop immediately, and you could see that they were doing sensationalized, basically, whatever you want to call it, just for clicks and likes. And I was just like, oh my God, who are you? So
yeah, man.
Who are you? So it was very disheartening.
That's exactly how I would
very
describe
disheartening. And I feel anyway, it's gross. Okay, it's gross. And I'll tell you something that my friend Pam said. She's a theta healer. And she teaches theta healing, and she said right now a lot of light workers are stepping back and sitting down and resting up. They are recovering. They're so used to helping everybody else and healing everybody else, and right now is a time, and you're a light worker, right now is a time where a lot of people who are healers and bringing things to light are they're taking a break, and they are just kind of focusing on themselves. And that is the energy I have noticed everywhere with people who normally, like I said, light workers. Yeah. So if you're feeling that energy, you're right there with all the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's, I mean, I don't know if I'm a light worker, but I definitely feel like what you described is accurate as far as like where I'm at.
Recalibrating.
Something.
Hey, as long as you're happy. And you're,
I am though. Like I really am. I don't. while I wish we weren't where we are, I know that what happened. I value what I got out of what's going on. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. That does make a lot of sense.
Right? I value where it's taken me and where I am right now. I just want to play my PlayStation.
Well, you do that.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to April too.
You should.
It's right there.
Yep.
But I still love to podcast, and I love to talk. So I just don't know. I really don't know. But I'm doing this show on Sunday night, so catch it while it's hot, and you have to come on and join me.
I would love to.
You know, it would be dope. They'd really enjoy you guys, right?
We would love to. Yeah. And do what recharge and do what makes you happy, and find time to find time to play. You got to find time to play. It's important.
Make time.
Now it's time to do that.
Kids.
Yeah.
Be a big kid.
You can reach me at BRV1776. That's the Bavarian Illuminati, ladies and gentlemen. At gmail.com. You can reach me there. If you comments, questions, complaints, go right ahead.
Go for it.
Thank you, April. I appreciate you. Thank you
for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Lots of love to you. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. We really, really appreciate you. We will be live again next Tuesday, where we are going to have Ty Whitman. He is an expert in water sifu. He does a class, knows everything there is about water, and he is going to dispel all the myths and bullshit involved with the fluoridating of the water. So is it good? Is it bad? Are we going to lose all our teeth if we take the fluoride out? The fluorine, you like that? The fluoride out. That's like fluoride and chlorine in one. So we're going to find out what the real deal is. Is it actually preventing tooth decay? What the story is, because nobody knows things better than Ty. So he will come on and join us next week, and we're going to hear the real deal from an actual expert. So thank you for being here. We love you. We appreciate you. Mwah. And thank you for your, hang on, wait, we had to do this right. There we go. Thank you for your biddies. I try not to do this when we have a guest in their face, but of course we're going to shake them titties. Cool, awesome dude. Everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you for throwing them. And more demon, yes, you definitely have potential to be a light worker for sure. You see things and know things a lot of people don't. Oh, cool, awesome dude. Look at you throwing some more. Thank you. Gracias. All right, we appreciate you. Mwah. You guys have a great night. Eva, thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for being here. So, bye. See you next Tuesday.